Day 2 was Solutions Day at the UN General Assembly, and this is where private sector and civil society had a seat at the table to share and talk about mobilization, launching and scaling initiatives, all connected to the summit thematic action tracks. Now, there were several themes that came out. The first one, of course, all related to partnerships. And of course, they were no strangers to the experiences that they all had during the pandemic, where in no time, public and private sector came together to serve and support learners. And the theme there was that this should continue on, not just when there's a pandemic. Now, something else that was very insightful was specifically that, is how we go about gathering and sharing insights. Brookings Institute gave a great example. The Center for Universal Education was doing a study all across the globe, and they shared the results at the summit. And they went around and in various communities around the world asked this very simple question: what are schools for? And they asked this to different stakeholders within communities. And so one interesting finding that they shared was that teachers in schools felt that they wish there was more social emotional learning done in the classroom, yet feared and were hesitant to do it because of their perception that parents wanted to focus more on academics. Now, those same parents in those communities expressed that they wished there was more social emotional learning in schools. And all this to share the insight that when we are gathering insights from a community, sometimes what we need to do is bring them together so that their collective voice can arrive at a new insight that would drive new practices and behaviors forward. Now, the third point that I think was prominent was that related to impact. And this was discussed at length, with this realization that we don't have time and funding to waste, and we need to make sure that the work and the energy, the efforts and the funding that we put together actually leads to impact. And when we talk about impact, it's about looking at sustainability, looking at enhanced equity, looking at how the impact is scalable, not just within one community, but when it extends into others and when it goes into a national initiative. And of course, affordability is another measurement that was talked about, as well as ensuring that these initiatives tie with government priorities, and also are used to strengthen government initiatives already in play. So that was a bit about Day 2, the Solutions Day. Next up is the Leaders Day at the UN General Assembly on Transforming Education Summit.